get shown as well across all the different languages. Even if maybe you don't speak French, but your team's playing in French, still might be good to go and watch that one. But let's kick this one off, Jason, straight into the action. Portugal versus France. We're going to be starting on Temple of Anubis. And as some clever individuals discovered last night, as I revealed some details that I didn't need to reveal, yes, the maps are set for each sort of round. We'll call them rounds, but the rounds can happen at different times. It's just whenever we can get the teams to play. So there's no rule. There is a rhyme and reason to when we see these maps, but they are set maps. They are played in order, and the losing team chooses the side to start on. That's how we work it out here. But yeah, Portugal on the blue side going to be defending here first. France impressed us yesterday. They definitely received a lot of criticism in the early stages, given just obviously the caliber of most of the French players out there in the scene. But they've done well so far. I had to highlight Kitty and Mikolo's, two people who were maybe not super known to us, but played very, very well. Kitty's Anna was very good, and Mikolo's Roadhog also was quite good to watch.
And we should go to the laps, at least for Portugal, since this is probably your first time seeing them in the entire World Cup. We have Kay over on Symmetric currently playing on that defense. Sanalix playing Junkrat. Mozaza,
I guess.
Mozaza's playing Reinhardt. Spec playing McCree. Limity on Zenyatta. And Warrior Prime, that's a good name, over on Mercy. So not really... Well, actually, we're going to see Battle Mercy maybe out of him.
Maybe. I was going to say, it's such a badass name, but then you play Mercy. But hey, you can do things with that hero that people don't expect. So, see Kitty going to be on the Pharmacy, half of the Pharmacy duo at least. They're D-Gun on the Pharah, and we are rolling back the years, boys. And D-Gun getting aggressive straight away as well, putting a lot of damage down towards Spec, but he falls down. Nice for Spec to respond in the high-pressure situation by getting the shots down towards the Pharah, and he takes down Kitty as well. This is a very good response from the Portuguese side. Even with Malzassa now getting involved, Nox can only really take to the skies, try and get a kill away in that fight, but Malzassa is going to make sure that he's dealt with in short shrift.
So Warrior Prime actually keeping Spect alive as he took 2 rockets from D-Gun. I think pretty much saved that entire fight for them. Like, yeah, he eventually did go down, but because he kept his McCree up, it didn't give France that one-man advantage they needed to push into this one. So now on the back foot here, France have to go in for a second attack. However, ultimates are coming up extremely quickly, and Crew already took down K before we can get even a teleporter down. So now Portugal somehow have to hold, and they've already lost like half the people on the other side of the choke point.
Yeah, they're staggered out. They lost a good amount of their team in the first fight here. So with the French pushing in as fast as they actually are, well, they're going to be able to take this point now by the looks of things here. First push wasn't great. The second will be enough, and D-Gun can zone out the entirety of the Portuguese lineup here that are trying to come back in. And there's not much they can do. So that's Symmetra as well. We did see that getting picked up there for, I think, San Alex. No, it's K. Yeah, no good there. No teleporter sort of coming out of that one, which is a bit of a shame, but sometimes it is hit or miss. Now going to be switching over towards Azaya. We still have the Junkrat in the mix here, maybe? We see a switch? Bit of discussion, perhaps. Yes, going to go to the Genji now. Quite a switch, that.
And you can see Spect already being overrun on point. Most importantly, D-Gun's going to be popping the barrage over towards the side. You can see Nox just trying to keep Spect out of this fight, but he has Deadeye available, so this is actually a really key target for them to focus onto. And there's the revive coming out of Kitty to give France a second chance.
Sound barrier coming in here as well for the French side. Want to keep themselves topped up and fighting up at this point. Send Alex up in the air. Can't do a heck of a lot now. The Speed Yada coming on in to try and delay, but Crew's going to go forward. He's not going to allow the reinforcements for the Portuguese side to even set foot on the point. Well, not if he has any say in the matter anyway. He's knocked back. He was flashed away, but now he's zoning quite nicely. The point's still ticking up here. Mikolo as well, just holding on that Zaya, and Kay was the one I was trying to find, trying to get back on towards the point, but that's an excellent, excellent second point take there by the French side. Really, just kind of hard to fault their attack there. Sure, they lost the first push, but that was maybe intentional. They managed to stagger Portugal out so much, and then, well, they pushed straight on through.
They still have a lot of time to work with in their bank too, so it's 5 minutes and 54 seconds left in the time bank, and we are using the new competitive mode, the Season 2 competitive mode, as the rule set for these matches. So now Portugal will have their chance to attack. I think they need to look forward to this first point and what they can potentially do. We did see a little bit of diversity in their hero pool. Kay was playing Symmetra, switched over to Zarya. Sanalix was Junkrat, went over to Genji, now he's playing Pharah. So they definitely have a deep hero pool, with at least in these 2 players particularly. But then again, the other 4 don't really need to switch up too much, because that's always going to be a solid core when it comes to making up a team.
And it did look pretty good in that last little moment there, I have to say. Obviously, D-Gun, the Pharah. I like the Pharah on the attacking side of Anubis, to be honest. I mean, I don't need to tell you. I know you're a big fan of that one, but...
I'll play Pharah whenever I can play Pharah.
Yep.
Doesn't matter what map, what area, even if we're losing, I'll still play Pharah. Or Mei.
Tried to play a bit of Mei last night as well. I don't know.
So you're more of a hit scan player. I think I figured out. You're more of a hit scan.
I can't play.
And I'm more of a projectile player.
I can't play projectiles.
Because I play Pharah, I play Mei, and Mei has right click projectile.
Yeah.
I play Zenyatta, I can kind of play Genji, not obviously to the level these guys do, but my McCree's crap because I don't have the patience, and I don't like the pressure that's put on you when you play McCree because you're expected to play well, and if you don't, you feel it.
It's so satisfying though.
Like, if you play a Zen, you don't do well, you don't really notice it too much because he can obviously keep you healing, and as long as he puts a Discord, he does like the basics of his job. But McCree's basics require, well, killing their DPS, hitting headshots, not missing anything, and not going out of position. And that's just too much pressure for me.
Well, let's get into this one now as well. Let's talk about the attacking composition. I'm more interested in this one at this stage as the defensive one. If you see it, it's not super out of the ordinary, except with maybe D-Gun on the Reaper, but that's fine. No Tracer here. Neither team go for the Tracer, I think is really powerful on this map. But anyway, we're going to see the Pharmacy combo again here for Warrior Prime and San Alex. We're going to have the Zarya coming in for K3, and Mazasa is going to be playing the Winston here. So good, good dive ability. As we just see from Mazasa, illustrates my point quite well. Good disengage there as well. Just goes in, gets a bit of damage, then backs away. Mikolo's good actually knocked off the edge, and D-Gun might have to commit. He goes down himself. Warrior Prime out towards the backside, keeping everyone nice and healthy, and Nox standing at the gate. Spect already picking 2 players of the French lineup out here. This Portuguese squad has the killer instinct.
It looks like they actually might be able to have this first point on the first attack as well. Spect just needs to knock out down. He gets the shot. He only has 50 HP left, but he's looking for Alpha Cast now in this 1v1, and Alpha's just trying to do everything he can to dodge behind this fountain in the middle, but Senelix will come in, secure the kills, and Portugal will pick up the first point on first attack. They're on a really good time.
Yeah, and you can see now D-Gun just wants to try and delay a little bit because of how quickly the Portuguese came through. I mean, it's not really going to amount to too much in the end, that Tracer. I expect to see him switch back towards the Reaper here. The Maze coming out for D-Gun. So, interestingly enough, that first point's going to be taken here. No worries about that one. Easy enough. And now we are going to see the Portuguese push forward. No big changes. They could duck back and switch into that room if they wanted to, but they're happy with this composition here.
Yeah, Senelix, I mean, he's going to have his barrage relatively soon, which makes things even harder to really contend with it for France. But if D-Gun gets a couple of good pot shots off, potentially take him out of the air. Not to mention Nox is doing a good job of just keeping the shield up as much as he can. But the Earth Shatter, it catches a Pharah, who's meant to be in the sky, but now she's in the grave. But there's the res to pull her back out.
A nice little turnaround there. Lemeta going to come in with the Transcendence, but he's already lost a lot of his team here. The rest of France are just sort of free to go and do damage. Every time I switch to D-Gun, he's dead. I should be used to that by now, but somehow I'm not. Crew, though, up on the point. Wants to just hit the last shot in. That's the one. Just plug that one straight over the top there. And that will shut down the attack here for the Portuguese side. So, again, deliberation period for the Portuguese. Do they mix up here? I like the Spect on McCree. I think he's in a very, very good McCree from what we've been seeing so far. They still want to persist here with the Pharah San Alex does just have that ultimate coming online here. So they'd like to set it up with K, I guess. Get a decent Graviton Surge in and make it happen. But still ready to go.
He's using the Anubis skin on Temple of Anubis. Good on him. Alright, Senelix though, the barrage, like you're saying, I think this could be really impactful, especially when you have a Graviton Surge to pull it into, and they don't really have anything to counter with. It's just going to be a sound barrier, but Senelix is going to get... Did he get slept? Kitty has switched over to Ana.
Yeah. Nice job by Kitty there, putting that Pharah to sleep, and she's trying to use the barrage, and now Kitty free to do a bit of damage. Try and heal if she can. Not easy though. Shot after shot comes in, and Malzasa going to send the Fire Strike in a direction. And will definitely knock her down. Now Diva's coming in. Crew gets pinned straight away. They're immediately desuited because of the Orb of Discord. Malzasa not taking any sass up on this point. And again, her Shadow comes in just to secure this one. Oh, Alpha Cast. Hate to see it happen to you, mate, but there comes the Graviton Surge in. There's not going to be any follow-up to this one, except for Nox coming in from the backside here. Nice little pick up there. Now Mikolo trying to do a bit of work here, but Kitty again, getting the healing going. Oh my lord, we do have the Nano Boost available, but he gets taken down. Now Spect, a lot of work for him to try and do to get on towards this point. Great hold so far for the French side. Graviton Surge comes in, but again, there's no follow-up forthcoming for the Portuguese.
Yeah, but Nox, he charged and killed Warrior Prime, so there's no res. They would have had the res in the fight. That actually should have been enough to close out this actual half, but that charge alone completely turned the tides of that fight, and now you have Nox with Earth Shatter again. You've got D-Gun with his Blizzard ready to go, and France have been able to hold on, but Warrior Prime has got to be a little bit more careful with his positioning, and more importantly, just not get charged from behind it. I mean, sometimes the sneaky Reinhardt catches you off guard, but they needed that res in that fight.
It's, I mean, and you combine that with the Nano Boost as well. Reinhardt will have ultimates for days. It's very, very easy for him to charge up the ultimate and stay alive by getting in the backline, doing damage. There comes another one. Malzasa gets knocked towards the ground, but San Alex trying to come in and get a bit of work done. Cuts in over across the top, realizes he's not going to get too much for this as Nox has already decimated most of his team. He's going to have to pull back and hope that, well, they can just disengage here without being staggered out, but it's not going to happen here. Crew comes forward, gets a bit aggressive, got to chase down Warrior Prime as well, and even Spectre's going to fall. Nice little push here from the French. This is going to buy them nice time. Looked like it would be a very even showing, and time back would be a big factor after the first point. But the Portuguese getting stunted.
I think, again, it just goes back to that charge. Like that, I think, basically saved France from having a bigger time bank allotted to them than Portugal. But the Blizzard that D-Gun has, it was changed in the recent patch. Reinhardt shield doesn't block it anymore. It can actually be thrown through a Reinhardt shield. But that Earth Shatter coming through is going to be big. But there's the wall coming at Dika to stop the charge and to stop the follow-up.
Big Blizzard coming out for the man himself, and the follow-up is even better. Crew gets himself too. Now the res is going to come back in though, but it's going to be a sound barrier at least to keep the French alive. K is going to get pretty chilly over in this corner right now. Again, it'll probably take a couple ones of that. Couple shots towards the head. D-Gun with a bit of a flick of the wrist, a bit of flair when it comes to the ice spikes coming in. Lemede having to back away, but again, you know the French are going to chase this one down. They're not going to allow these supports, these stragglers to get away alive. San Alex can do it purely because he has the reflect available.
Well, pretty much with every ultimate being expended in that fight, Spec's the only one with one remaining, currently sitting on that Deadeye. But there's 3 minutes left to go. And France, it looks like they're starting to finally be pushed here when it comes to actually to their opponents, because we saw them in games earlier on yesterday. And it seemed relatively one-sided, but the Sriracha's been able to come together. And more importantly, Portugal, I feel like it's been honestly not a bad job at all. Doing actually a relatively good job. They're switching things up when they realize that K is now going to be playing on the Winston instead of the Zarya. They're trying to adapt to what France has, but Kitty, if he doesn't get interrupted, if he doesn't get dislodged from this position, especially if they come up towards this right side, then it's going to be really hard to kind of penetrate this defense.
I mean, Kitty in an excellent spot right now as well. Almost reading into this push coming in from the right-hand side here. So let's see how it all goes head-to-head. Nox obviously will be there at the front here. Comes with a fire strike. The wall comes up and they manage to isolate K here, but they ignore him right now because the Deadeye comes in. Clever of Nox to go back and defend against that, but he goes down. Spec gets 2. It's going to be Crew and Nox actually fall to that one. Flash comes in and Kitty is in a world of hurt. Spec with the damage boost on top of him and the Earth Shatter. Almost unnecessary at this point, but you know the Portuguese want to secure this one out. Blizzard comes in. Who's going to be caught? It's going to be Spec and San Alex getting caught, but again, no follow-up really to speak of. Again, Crew tries to come in with a Diva. Again, he gets charged out. He comes back in on towards the point with 3 health just to keep it contested. Now the Bunny Blast working on Lemede. A lot of damage done. It should even work, but no, the health pack comes in. Lucky for the Omnic Monk to keep himself alive, and even Spec assisting. But Kitty comes down there as well. Nice little pickup. It's a foot to the face, and now I'm struggling to find someone who's actually alive and fighting. But the French somehow holding on by the skin of their teeth.
Yeah, Deegan there as well, just trying to keep this point alive, keep it contested. But the drop that we saw come out, Kitty went down towards the bottom side, Crew as well. It didn't force, it just pulled 3 people from Portugal down to defend that one and to actually pick up those 2 last kills. But when that happened, it's like, all right, you gave up the point, you gave up that pressure you had there, and France is able to respawn back in pretty much at the same time to refight here. But Warrior Prime again has res ready to go. Sanalix has the Dragon's Blade, but Mikolo, that Graviton Surge is going to be the big turning point. If he can hit this on multiple people, not to mention Nox, who's been hitting pretty much every Earth Shatter he's been throwing out. I still am not sure if Portugal can successfully take this. They need to somehow kill these supports.
Yeah. Earth Shatter will be important here for Mazassa if he can make it work, but Nox is always going to be in his way. Preemptive Sound Barrier comes out, and there comes the Earth Shatter as well, but Mazassa is also knocked towards the ground himself. Kitty gets one on there on towards K. Nice pick up, and now Alpha just trying to keep an eye over this fight. Actually, a fairly quick wipe here for the French side. Mazassa, not much he can do trying to charge forward and change this fight, but even Crew is going to get the shutdown there on towards his opposite number. Spect has to eat a flash grenade and a couple shots to the dome. Ults were used there en masse for Portugal. 30 seconds left. This is going to be their last push.
They still have at least the Deadeye and the res. I think, again, Warrior Prime just didn't get it off in that fight. Maybe getting picked off by Crew. But Mikolo, he still has a Graviton Surge, and Deegan as well with the Blizzard. Like, if they try to attack this one, if they clump up on point, they're dead. Like, there's just nothing you're going to do to this combo of this Mei and Zarya.
Oh, Nox is going to go in there with the charge. He gets also the nano boost. He's looking for the McCree, and he gets him. There's not much Spec can do about that one. So much damage reduction on the Reinhardt. But now the Blizzard comes in again. D-Gun going to get that one off at a good time. Who's going to be frozen, though? Everyone seems to be backing away. But, of course, the speed gather of Lemede gets to stand on towards the point. Not for very long, I might add, but still long enough. Now another Earth Shatter comes in. Of course, there's yet another one available for Nox because he had that nano boost. Lets him do the damage in the fight. It's important to charge up that ultimate. And the French, well, there ain't no white flag hanging outside their door. They're going to hold this point pretty comfortably now as well. Overtime ticks down. It's going to be stalled out very, very briefly here by San Alex. But again, he falls, and that should be it.
So there you go, France securing map 1 of Temple of Anubis, which means we'll be heading over to Numbani as our second map. It's going to be Deegan's Playground, I feel like, with Farah if he does go for that. But Portugal, we have to give him credit. That was actually not a bad performance overall. They took the first point on the first attack. They were able to defend against France on the first attack when they were going and they had to defend. Honestly, not a bad job overall. And when it comes to maybe a payload map, maybe they'll have an advantage here.
Yeah, when we saw that Portugal tried to go for this sort of two-pronged attack where K would come around the side, the right side that is, and the rest of Portugal in from the left. But you can see Warrior Prime now has to go in for this kind of res, but you can also see the devastation that's being caused here to the Portuguese lineup. Blizzard comes in, and Deadeye is a great combo with that one as well, because obviously there's not much you can do to avoid it. Plus, you're already taking some early damage. Crew with a nice amount of kill participation. We expect no less from him. We don't really get to see much of his McCree anymore, so it is nice to see him pop that one out.
For good reason.